As president, I have no higher duty than to defend the laws and the Constitution of the United States. That is why I am determined to protect our election system, which is now under coordinated assault and siege. For months leading up to the presidential election, we were warned that we should not declare a premature victory. We were told repeatedly that it would take weeks, if not months, to determine the winner, to count the absentee ballots, and to verify the results. My opponent was told to stay away from the election. Don't campaign. We don't need you. We've got it. This election is done. In fact, they were acting like they already knew what the outcome was going to be.
They were acting as if they already knew what the outcome was going to be. Greetings, dear friends. Sebastian Gorka here, host of America First. That was a short clip of the potentially monumental video, the 40-minute speech the president posted while we were on air yesterday on Facebook that has since gone viral. Isn't it funny how the president always warns us about what's going on and what is going to happen, and is ridiculed by the purveyors of conventional wisdom, by the so-called experts, the members of the self-appointed elite, and those who say they're journalists but who actually are propagandists. Whether it was way back when he said, my offices, my campaign, the Trump Tower, were wiretapped. He was laughed at. And now we know what? That yes, indeed, the outgoing Obama administration had spied not only on the president's campaign, but was prepared to spy on his transition team and his administration and frame people like Carter Page and Lieutenant General Mike Flynn. And now he's done it again. Jeff sent me a video just moments before we started the show, which is in a normal year, in any other circumstance, an utter and complete game changer. We have been told for a month now. Well, first we were told there's no evidence of voter fraud. Then we were told there's no evidence of systematic voter fraud. And then the final was, well, there's not enough evidence of enough voter fraud to overturn an election. In the hearing, oh, and it's interesting, only OAN has published this video. I have Fox on in the studio. I don't know why we do that, but maybe we'll change that. Fox isn't showing this video. I wonder why not. We have video footage from the Georgia hearing on election fraud of CTV, closed circuit CCTV video from the Georgia polling stations where votes were being counted. A poll worker escorts all observers out of the room, gets them, shoos them out. We're stopping counting, so you've got to leave now. And once the observers, the poll watchers, the potential challengers, have been physically escorted out of the vote counting room, what happens? They start to pull suitcases of ballots out, hidden from under the vote counting tables. Suitcase after suitcase. Red-handed caught. The evidence that the media said doesn't exist, that even Attorney General Barr had the gall to say, well, there's just not enough of it. the second highest law enforcement officer in the most powerful nation in the world, said, no, it's not enough. Well, I've tweeted that video out right now. Is this enough evidence for you, Attorney General William Barr, to get off your duff and do something? How many agents did you send to that NASCAR garage to investigate that alleged noose, which was just a handle for closing the garage door? Was it 6? Was it a dozen FBI agents you sent on an absurd, surrealistic, wild goose chase? What in God's name are you doing? We have video footage of an election being stolen. And why does it take OAN and a local hearing for it to be released a month after the election? Where were you? Where was the whole Department of Justice? We have them red-handed. Now is a question. What happens next? Will this be sufficient for the rest of the GOP machine that are in positions of power across the nation, especially in the state houses, to do the right thing, to find that inkling of courage, that iota of bravery, where they say, I have to, I must, in the interests of all that is sacred and good. I will no longer be an accomplice, a silent co-conspirator in an attempt to defraud the American people. This is the test for our nation, for those who actually take an oath of office, as I did twice when I became an official of the Defense Department and then strategist to the most powerful man in the world in the White House. I took that oath deadly seriously. And in fact, so much so that if push came to shove, I would be prepared to die because of what I said in that oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of this nation. Now a far lesser challenge stands before you, Republican state senators. All you have to do is based upon the mountains of evidence, the sworn affidavits, the testimony, and now the video footage that you refuse to accept this election. You will not certify it by calling together a slate of electors in the Electoral College, and you will not have them vote, and you will not send the results of that vote to Washington, D.C. next week and on January the 6th. That's all you have to do to demonstrate that you are a good man or a good woman. Are you up to it? Do you respect the words that you spoke when you took that oath? Or will you be like every other coward who came before you and when tested to do the right thing, failed? It is a time of choosing. The Democrats have been caught. What are you going to do? This is America First on the Salem Radio Network with me, your host, Sebastian Gorka, member of the President's National Security Education Board. Don't touch that dial.